All right, next up, we're going to go ahead and do our poly reduce, and we can do that all together so we get one final polygon count. So I'm going to hit tab, start typing in poly reduce, and then we're just going to drop that right below this for each. And just like we did in the earlier videos, feel free to dial in exactly what kind of polygon count you're looking for. I'm going to go ahead and just turn on this continue reducing option. That's going to drop us down to 1.87%. We've already done a pretty low res mesh. Let's make this one a little bit more like, say, cinematic game res. So I'm going to make that 5 into a 6. And now we're at 31,000. I think that'll be fine. So we'll go ahead and keep it there. And again, because we've done all of those objects at once, they're all uniformly reduced, and they're all reduced together so we can see the entire primitive count down here. Again, if you missed that video, hit D, go to guides, and then say always on under the additional information, geometry information. Or you can middle mouse click over this and hold it down, and you can see your polygon count in there. Let's throw in another auto UV. And again, if you missed that video, go back and watch it. I'm just going to go ahead and say, we'll keep it simple. We'll do a UV unwrap with angle based. And now if we do Shift W, you're going to see, we can go ahead and harden those normals. On the UV seams, we hit spacebar 5. This is the packing and UVs that it gave us. We'll do spacebar 1 to hop back out. Again, if you want to do your visualize UVs, you can do that as well. So we'll toss this in here and we'll turn that on. And we'll say visualize islands, and then we can visualize seams. We'll make that maybe 0.1 is fine. So we'll hop back here. And like I mentioned before, we need to do our soften normals. Go ahead and drop that in, and we'll say harden our UV seams, soften everything except for our UV seams, which we'll go ahead and harden. So we'll go ahead and make that visible. And now to move all these pieces out so we don't get any transferring of normal information between them, what we can do is we can drop in an exploded view. Let's go ahead and make that visible. And that'll go ahead and explode these things out into space. And let's say the scale is going to be like 10. That'll make sure they're all really moved far apart. Now, of course, we've exploded our game res mesh. We also need to explode our high res mesh. And our high res mesh right now is this blast node here. If you do want to relabel this, you can just double click that, say high res. And we went through the high-res prep before if you wanted to round out your hard surface edges from your booleans and stuff like that. So go back and watch that video if you need to. I'm not going to bother here. So let's say this exploded view, I'm going to alt drag out so we can have the exact same values. And then I can go up here to our high-res. We'll click that bottom node and then we'll middle mouse drag down and take that in there. So now our high-res matches our game res now with our two exploded views. We'll throw in another simple baker here. And if you want more information on this thing, go watch that video. But with this one visible now, we're just going to go ahead and keep all the defaults, hit render. And once that's finished up, of course, let's put the AO, if we go back here to the material, let's put the AO into the diffuse map and apply it our normals so we can see that. And if we want to see these all together, we don't need to unexplode them. Just like before, we can go back to this where they're all together here. And let's go ahead and drag out or put in a quick material node, and we'll split this one off here. Now with this one visible, let's go ahead and turn that tint down. So it's just a nice medium gray. And again, we're going to plug in our AO map and then our normal map. And then we'll flip those on the Y. And now we have, hit spacebar G to go ahead and frame this mesh. We have everything baked separately, really nice normals, really good UVs, really good packing, all done just really elegantly with that for each loop. So you can see how simple this node graph is and how easy that was to set up. So now if we want to batch another object through that, let's go ahead and save this. And we'll go ahead and take a similar object to this and we'll throw it right through this node graph.